Remember the 60 pounds of bacon I got last November? This is September, so it's been 10 months ago. Froze it, and this is how I cook it. When I defrost it, I just throw it in my Dutch oven. Ooh, it's not quite all defrosted yet. Yeah, it's okay. And I just cook it all at once in the Dutch oven, and it goes so much easier. Okay, here is my bacon all done. Of course, I'm going to save the bacon grease. Right there's from the last batch. And I will just strain it and put it in the refrigerator. I keep mine in a big jar like this. And what I do is after I'm done cooking my bacon, I let it cook, or I let it cool for just a little bit. And then I just strain mine. Mom doesn't strain hers. She lets all the stuff just fall to the bottom. But I just don't usually hold it steady enough that I usually catch a little. So I just pour it through the strainer, just like that. And then I have my fresh bacon grease. Okay, so let me show you real quick. I do the little cubes because if you fill them 3/4 full right there, it's exactly 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. So this makes it great if you're counting calories or you just need to know a precise amount. Now, my family has shrunk, so I don't have as many kids at home. I only have, well, let's see, how many do I have? I have 4 at home instead of 7 of us. And so I have been freezing in these little cubes because it is just so convenient. If you want to use a regular tray, it is still 2, oops, I got that one just shy, but it's still 2 tablespoons. So now I'm going to throw this in the freezer and show you how they just pop out. Okay, here they are frozen, and I just pop them out. Whoops. I store my bacon cubes just like this in the freezer. And I take one, rub it all over my griddle, just like so. There we go. Then I just throw it back in there. And I usually have 2 jars going, one that I'm eating out of and one that I'm storing, because we go through it pretty quick, but this is a really large jar. I honestly need to get a smaller jar, but you know, the bottom stuff could go rancid. Now it stays 6 months to a year.
Oh, over a year.
Easy.
If you keep it in the refrigerator especially, you can keep it out of the refrigerator. And I use mine so often, yeah, it doesn't even have a chance to go rancid.
Yeah, most people who use it don't.
A person usually only has about this amount that they store on a regular basis, and they'll use it up before it it's like Crisco. It doesn't go any more rancid really than like Crisco. And I'm just using a little bit of bacon grease. I prefer bacon grease because it adds really, really good flavor. After I cook my bacon, I cool it, pour it in a container, and store it in the refrigerator.
This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. Okay, I use bacon grease even when I'm just frying regular chicken. It just adds a really good flavor. Okay, the next thing I use bacon grease for is to fry steaks. Now, I know steak lovers of the world are just going to have a coronary when they see what I'm going to do here, but I have my frozen steak here, and I'm going to get one of it fried, put the lid on, and defrost the rest and cook the other side. I use it in potato salad. I will, on my hot potatoes, I will put a tablespoon or 2 and a big thing of potato salad, and then I can have the bacon flavor without having to use a lot of expensive bacon. So I'll use it in potato salad, pour it on the hot potatoes before you put it in there. We use it in baked beans, put about a tablespoon in baked beans, fry eggs.
Yeah,
we just
hash browns and country fries.
Yep.
And any kind of eggs, though. You can fry scrambled eggs.
I've got bacon grease right here. I just keep on my counter. I just do a small jar. And I melt it in my pan and make my scrambled eggs with it.
And it changes the flavor. Once you've eaten eggs fried in bacon grease, it'll be hard to go back to anything else.
And we're not talking about people dumping this whole entire thing in there. We're talking about like a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on the size of your recipe. You can use it for biscuits, to grease your pan for biscuits, to grease your pan for bread and dinner rolls, for cornbread. Mike said that they used to put it in queso when they were in Texas, which is just cheese dip, but they have to be fancy in Texas, so... And so they use it in queso, and they'll just put a tablespoon in there, cheese with salsa dip.
Grandma does her green beans with it. She puts a tablespoon or so, depending on how much you're making, of the in there with and drains it. Or sometimes she'll leave a little bit of the juice in there and just boils it down.
Yeah.
And it just cooks those green beans with the bacon grease.
So a really good way to save is to save your bacon grease and use it for buttering and that kind of thing.
Well, another thing, you were straining it with a strainer. You can buy cans at Walmart, and they have the strainer in the lid and everything that you can pour it into, so you don't have to mess with getting the strainer out, and you just keep it in that can then if you want to, and that can be your bacon grease.
Bacon grease is good for greasing your pans and for greasing your bowl. So what I do is I stick my bread down there and then turn it around just like so. Now I had too much, so I'm going to do my pans with this also. What I usually do is just take a paper towel, I didn't have quite enough, and just grease your pan with your bacon grease. This is the way something that you would normally throw away, you can reuse again. And if you want to add an extra bit of flavor, put a little bit of bacon grease in with your deviled eggs. Okay, I have my hot bacon grease here. Now, I saw a tip. It has cooled down, so it won't burn me now. But I saw a tip to help get all of the gunky stuff out. They said to add water, because water and oil don't mix. And then put a tight lid on your bacon grease, turn it upside down, put it in the refrigerator, and then all the chunky stuff should fall to the bottom. So we're gonna give it a try and see if it works. All right, so the water is, oh, the water did clarify. Look at that. Okay, there's a little bit of bacon on the top here, but that's actually pretty clean for bacon grease. So I would say that tip worked. Okay, now this tip did work, but I do have to wonder, has anyone tried this? Because will the moisture that's in here from the water mold eventually if you store this in the fridge? Because regular bacon grease doesn't usually mold in the refrigerator for like a year. I mean, it doesn't go bad. So somebody comment and let me know, because I don't know. All right, well, I had you guys comment, but guess what? Look at this right here. So this is not a good tip. So if you see this tip on the internet, ignore it. It does not work. Right there is mold. I have never, ever, ever had my bacon grease mold until I did this tip. So there you go. Inquiring minds want to know. That's a quick and easy way to save a few extra dollars every year and
save that bacon grease.
And you know what's funny is nobody knows that I put bacon grease in my potato salad, but my potato salad is always gone. Everyone loves it. So you can use it and people won't even know that it's, in there. Yeah, it doesn't leave a heavy taste. So anyway, reuse your bacon grease, people, and save yourself some money.